Hey, today you are going to learn 5 English idioms that you must know. English idioms that native English speakers use on a regular basis. Now, these idioms are right here. We have a foot in the door, a shot in the dark, allow the dust to settle, barking up the wrong tree, and back against the wall. Now, what do these idioms mean, and how can you use them naturally in real life like a native English speaker? I am going to teach you all of this today. So, are you excited? Now, I do want to let you know that all of the idioms I'm going to teach you today are found in my 100 English Idioms ebook, and there are a ton more. So, if you want to keep learning and sounding like a native English speaker, click the link in the description and get your copy of 100 English Idioms. Trust me, you won't regret it. All right, now let me ask you this. Are you ready to get started? Well then, I'm teacher Tiffany. Let's jump right in. All right, so let's get started with our first idiom. Idiom number 1 is a foot in the door. After me, a foot in the door. Excellent job. Now, a foot in the door just means gives people an opportunity to start doing something new, usually in an area that is difficult to succeed in. So, for example, let's say there was an individual that wanted to get a great job at a very high-paying bank in New York City. Well, if that individual went to the #1 finance university in America, he or she would have a foot in the door for that job because they went to an amazing school, and that gives them a better opportunity to get a good job. Kind of makes sense? We say a foot in the door. Now, let me show you some other examples that will help you understand how to use this idiom. First, my internship allowed me to get my foot in the door for my career. Now, this is a true statement, and at the end, during story time, I'll tell you the full story. Now, don't go anywhere. At the end, I'll tell you a story about this. So, having an internship helped this individual, me, get a better job, all right? We say get a foot in the door. Here we go. Example number 2. This isn't the job you hoped for, but it will help you get a foot in the door. Meaning, hey, the job you have right now, I know it's not what you want, but it's a stepping stone to the next job, the next level. So we say a foot in the door. Now, what about sentence number 3? I worked as a movie extra just to get my foot in the door. It gave this individual more opportunities to get better jobs, better acting jobs. Makes sense, right? Okay, so one more time after me. We have a foot in the door. Excellent. All right, now let's go to idiom number 2. Here we go. A shot in the dark. Excellent. One more time after me. A shot in the dark. Good job. Now, a shot in the dark just means an attempt that has very little chance for success. Now, let me tell you a quick story that will help you understand this. So, I am a woman. I look very young, though. I'm a woman that looks very young, but I'm a little older than you think. So one day I was hanging out with some friends, and there was a young man. He was very handsome, but he was in his 20s. Now, he assumed I was in my 20s. So he approached me and kind of made a pass at me. He was trying to say, hey, I'm interested. Now, here's the thing. I was not in my 20s. I was well in my 30s. So his attempt was a shot in the dark. There was no way he would succeed in dating me because he was too young. Makes sense, right? Again, it was a shot in the dark. There's very little chance for success. Honey, you're too young for me. That's the main idea. You get it? All right, so we say a shot in the dark. So let me tell you some example sentences. Here we go. You can look for your key on the beach, but that's a shot in the dark. Very hard to find your keys in the midst of all that sand. A shot in the dark. It's starting to make sense, right? Okay, let's go to sentence number 2. The figure he came up with was really a shot in the dark. Like, come on, that's not realistic. A shot in the dark. And finally, sentence number 3. It was a shot in the dark. I can't believe I was right. So this person thought that there were little chances of them being correct or succeeding, but oh my goodness, they were right. So in English, we say a shot in the dark. So one more time after me. A shot in the dark. Excellent. Now a quiz is coming, so keep paying attention. I want you to ace the quiz. Here we go. Let's go to idiom number 3. Allow the dust to settle. After me. Allow the dust to settle. Excellent. Now you're probably wondering, teacher, what is this about dust? Let me explain. So allow the dust to settle means to allow a situation to become normal again. So this is what I want you to imagine right now. Close your eyes. Just listen to my voice. Imagine that there was a rug on the ground, and that rug was full of dust and dirt. So you go and you walk up to the rug and you pick it up and you shake it to get the dust out of the rug, right? Now what happens? The dust gets all in the air and now it's hard to see, and you have to pause and wait a minute for the dust to settle. You have to wait for the situation to become normal again. It makes sense, right? You kind of visualize now, oh yes, the dust in the air, you need to wait for it to leave the air. So the same idea goes for this idiom, allow the dust to settle. So let's look at some example sentences that will help you understand this a little bit more. First one, I'm going to allow the dust to settle before I try talking to her again. That means something happened, there was a challenge or an issue, and now things are a little bit strange, like that dust in the air, and you want things to go back to normal. Hey, I'm going to let the dust settle before I try talking to her again. Makes sense, right? You're seeing it now even visually, right? All right, so let's check out sentence number 2. Here we go. My mom said I needed to allow the dust to settle before I ask my dad to adopt a dog. Makes sense. Ooh, wait a second. Let things go back to normal before you ask your dad for a dog. All right, here we go. Sentence number 3. She waited for the dust to settle, then began to express her feelings to her fiance. Makes sense. Again, waiting until things go back to normal before you do something. In English, the idiom is allow the dust to settle. Make sense? Woo, you're smart. Here we go. Let's keep going to idiom number 4. So again, we had idiom number 3. Let's move on to idiom number 4. Here we go. Back against the wall. Wait a minute, teacher, what does that mean to have your back against the wall? Now, this means to be in a very bad situation or position. A very bad situation. So let me tell you really quickly when I had my back against the wall. You see, I've been teaching for a long time, but at the very beginning of my business, when I started, I didn't have any money. My credit card was maxed out. So my back was against the wall. I had to figure out how to bring in more money. Again, I had my back against the wall. I was in a bad situation. Makes sense, right? Maybe you've been in a bad situation. You had your back against the wall. Makes sense? All right, let's check out some example sentences. Here we go. First, the lawsuit had him with his back against the wall. Make sense? All right. Sentence number 2. we had our backs against the wall, but somehow we managed to win the game. Makes sense, right? All right, here we go. Now again, all of these examples you can find if you go to my website, speakenglishwithtiffani.com, and go to the section that has the YouTube lessons. So don't worry, you can see all of these example sentences. Here we go. I was in a foreign country without a phone, and my back was against the wall. It makes sense, right? That's a horrible situation to be in. Overseas in a foreign country, without a phone, your back will be against the wall. Make sense? Oh, you're smart. All right, now let's go to our next idiom. Here we go. Let's go to idiom number 5. Remember, your quiz is coming up, so I hope you are paying attention. Here we go. Idiom number 5, barking up the wrong tree. Good. One more time after me. Barking up the wrong tree. Excellent. Now, this just means to pursue, to move forward on a mistaken line of thought or course of action. It's like, oh, I don't think that's the way you want to go, or oh, I don't think that's the direction we're trying to go in. You are barking up the wrong tree. All right, now again, these idioms, oh my goodness, we use them all the time. So I get excited because I want you to sound more like a native English speaker. So here we go. Let's look at some example sentences. Sentence number 1. If he thinks I'm paying for him, he's barking up the wrong tree. Now, this is something that a woman can say on the first date. You know, they go out to dinner, candlelight, beautiful restaurant, the meal comes, oh, it looks delicious. And when the meal is over, the bill comes. And the guy looks at her and she looks at the guy and she says, oh, he thinks I'm paying for him. No, he's barking up the wrong tree. Makes sense, right? Ooh, that's the wrong train of thought. That's the wrong idea, buddy. We say barking up the wrong tree. All right, I think some ladies understood that one. Here we go. Sentence number 2. She's barking up the wrong tree if she thinks that will solve the problem. She has the wrong idea. That's not going to solve anything. She's barking up the wrong tree. Makes sense, right? I know you're taking notes and I'm so proud of you. Here we go. Last example sentence. The investors kept barking up the wrong tree. Hey guys, come on. This is not the right direction. You guys are barking up the wrong tree. Makes sense, right? Again, barking up the wrong tree. All right. Now, real quick, before we have our quiz, I want to go over them real quick before our quiz. I want you to ace the quiz. Foot in the door, giving an opportunity. Number 2, shot in the dark, an attempt that has little chance of success. Number 3, allow the dust to settle. Remember that one? Let things go back to normal. Number 4, back against the wall, to be in a very bad situation. And number 5, barking up the wrong tree. Hey, that's a mistake. That's not the right way to think. Are you ready? It's time for your quiz. Now, you are going to have 5 seconds for each question. I hope you're ready. I'm going to give you the question. You need to fill in the blank with the correct idiom. Remember, you've learned them. You know them. You can sound like a native English speaker. Here we go. Question number 1. You have 5 seconds. Here we go. She doesn't like guys with long hair, so I think you may be... Time starts now. Time. All right. What's the answer? Come on, you know it. What's the answer? Yes, barking up the wrong tree. Excellent job. Very good. All right, now let's go to question number 2. Again, you have 5 seconds. Here we go. Question number 2. Her blank. After she lost her biggest client. Woo! Her blank. After she lost her biggest client. This one is tricky. You ready? Here we go. 5 seconds. Time. All right. What's the answer? This one was tricky. Her, yes, back was against the wall after she lost her biggest client. Excellent. All right, here we go. Number 3. Now remember, you have 5 seconds. My mother was furious, so I decided to, before I asked for a new phone. What idiom goes here? Which idiom did we learn that matches this one? 5 seconds. Here we go. Time. All right, what's the answer? Come on, I know you know it. What's the answer? Yes, allow the dust to settle. Excellent job. Here we go. Question number 4. The project was hopeless, so his suggestion was really 5 seconds. Here we go. Time. All right, what's the answer? Come on, I know you know it. A shot in the dark. Excellent. Very good. Man, you learned these idioms so fast. All right, here we go. And number 5. Last one. Ooh. I think this conference will really help you get your 5 seconds. Here we go. 5 seconds. Time. What's the answer? Yes, your foot in the door. Man, you are awesome. Excellent job. You did such an amazing job. So again, today you learned 5 new English idioms that will help you sound more like a native English speaker. A foot in the door, a shot in the dark, allow the dust to settle, barking up the wrong tree, and back against the wall. Now remember, if you want to learn even more English idioms and sound like a native English speaker, remember to get this book right here. I created this ebook just for you. 100 English idioms. Download your copy. Get your copy now by going to the link in the description. Trust me, you are going to love it. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I hope you learned these idioms and use them. I love being your teacher, and I can't wait to see you next time. But as always, remember to speak English. You still there? You know what time it is. Here we go. It's story time. Hey, I said it's story time. All right. Now, I promised you guys that I would tell you the story about how my internship helped me get a foot in the door for my job at NASA. All right. Now, so what happened was when I was in university, again, I was a very hardworking student. I actually paid my way through school. I had 3 jobs when I was in university because I didn't want my parents to have to pay for anything. So one of the jobs that I had when I was in university was actually an internship, and it was connected to NASA. That's right. My internship was with NASA and one of their contractors. Great internship. I learned a lot. Gained a lot of experience. So I, again, thought to myself, hey, this internship is going to help me get my foot in the door so that I can get a great job. So fast forward, my senior year, last year of university, and we're moving closer to graduation day. But I hadn't gotten a job offer yet. So I was getting a little nervous. Again, I had worked so hard. I thought I had done well in my internship, but I wasn't getting any emails. I wasn't getting any messages related to job offers. So graduation day came. I graduated. Still no offers. Packed my things. My parents came down to my university. It was in Alabama. Packed my stuff, put it in the cars, and we drove back up to Maryland. Weeks went by. 2 weeks went by. Still no offers, no emails, and no phone calls. And I was starting to get a little bit nervous because I had worked so hard at the internship, but they weren't offering me a job. So I said, okay, Lord, as you guys know, I'm a Christian. I started praying a lot. I said, maybe I have to look for a job somewhere else. So I started looking for other jobs. And I remember this like it was yesterday. I was walking in my house and the phone rang. Our house phone rang. I walked into my parents' room where the house phone was, and I sat on their bed. I said, hello. I said, hi, can we speak to Tiffani Claiborne? I said, okay, sure. It's me. And they said, how are you? I was like, I'm fine. They said, how did you enjoy your internship? And that's when I realized it was connected to the internship. So I got a little bit nervous. Again, I still remember this, even though this was literally 17 years ago. I was sitting on the bed and my heart started to race. I said, I really enjoyed the internship. They said, yes, you actually did pretty well. I said, oh, thank you so much. And I waited and I waited. They said, well, Tiffani, did you enjoy your time there a lot? I said, yeah, I really did. I enjoyed my coworkers and what I learned and what I did. They said, okay, would you like to keep working with us? Now, I didn't want to scream on the phone, but I was excited. I said, yes, that would be amazing. I would appreciate that opportunity. When you're on the phone for a professional call, you have to change a little bit. That would be awesome. I would really appreciate if you all gave me that opportunity. Meanwhile, inside my heart, I was like, yes, Jesus, come on now. But I didn't want to do all that on the phone. So I said, yes, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. So the phone call continued. They said, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to send you an offer via email, and you please let us know if that offer is okay. They're talking about the month, the amount of money, my salary. So I got off the phone. Of course, I immediately called my parents. I got a job. So of course I got a job offer. Again, with your family, you can be honest, the way you want to speak, right? So I talked to my parents, and then I got the email. And the offer amount, I said, yes, Lord, the salary was good. It was comparable for my experience. It matched where I was going to be living. It was amazing. And in that moment, I realized, man, Lord, that internship really did give me a foot in the door. I now had a job with NASA because of the internship I had while I was in university. So I will never forget the day the offer came. I will never forget that day because there were so many weeks and months prior to that I just didn't think I was going to get a job offer. So maybe you've experienced something similar. You're waiting for a call, or maybe you did something that you thought would get your foot in the door for a specific job, but then there was this period of waiting. Now, I appreciated everything that happened during my time at NASA. I loved the job, but as you all know, I left and I became an English teacher. But yes, hopefully you understood the story. Hopefully you liked it. And hopefully now you even mastered get your foot in the door. All right, guys, I will see you next week. Don't forget to get your copy of 100 English Idioms right here. The link is in the description. All right, love you all, and I'll see you next week.